first. The second. The third. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. I hope you like that little intro there, a little tribute to Christopher Lee and Taste of Blood of Dracula, where he counts off his victims. Yeah. Okay then guys, so for this video, I'm going to show you all three fantastic books that came through my door today, my letterbox. The Jewel in the Crown is the Christopher Lee one, the big bumper Christopher Lee one. Sinners, Prince of Darkness. But I'm going to show you the other two first, guys, and then leave Christopher Lee to last, because that's the one I'm really excited about. Okay, now what? These books are by a company called We Belong Dead. They publish some of the finest horror books I've ever seen in my whole life. I'll leave the link down below, guys, if you fancy picking up these books. I can highly recommend them. Just wait you see them. They are beautiful, beautiful horror books. Beautiful. I've never seen horror books quite like these. All right then, guys, enough waffle from me. I'm going to show you the first one. So the first book I'd like to show you is a book called Monster Memories, and it's quite a weighty tome as well. Just look at that, guys. Lovely book. And this basically is it tells you everything about 70s horror, horror magazines, horror bubblegum cards, horror movies, everything about the 70s. And I was there. I was a teenager growing up in the 70s. So when I saw this book, I thought, I've got to have that. And this is the ideal book for a monster kid of the 1970s. Okay, there, guys. I'm not going to show you every page. We're going to be we'll be here till the cows come home. I'll just show you some of the pages. So there you go. So this is 70s Monster Memories from the creators of We Belong Dead magazine. As I say, I'll leave the link in the channel down below, guys, to We Belong Dead. Go along and have a look at the site if you don't buy. They've got some real fantastic items. Okay then, guys, here we go. So I'm just going to open this up, and there's all the famous monsters, guys, if you can see them. And as I say, like, I won't show you every page. I'll just show you some of the highlights, as it were, you know. But absolutely packed forward by Dead Skin, prominent name in the world of British horror comics. Dead Skin. I'll just show you as many pages as I can. But the beautiful books, guys. The stuff that dreams are made of. Absolutely gorgeous books. Dracula's Risen from the Grave there, and Linda Blair in Exorcist 2. I've already got some of the other volumes of these, the We Belong Dead, as well. And there's a fine one of Christopher Lee there, Taste of Blood of Dracula, where he goes, the first, the second, the third. Classic line, guys, from a Hammer movie, that. Shows you he could count, doesn't it? Do you get it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made a joke there. Yeah, it shows you Christopher Lee could count when he's playing Count Dracula. Yeah, I know. Couldn't resist it. But yeah, guys, as I say, if you love 70s horror, oh, that's a great book, that, A Pictorial History of Horror Movies. Yeah. Get yourself this book. Fantastic book it is. I had that book as well. Great picture of Christopher Lee from the Satanic Rites of Dracula. These, publishers of these books, writers certainly know their onions when it comes to putting together, a great horror book ideal for all horror fans. I had I had most of those magazines as well, guys. World of Horror. I had all them. So yeah, really, really excited to receive. Oh, there's that. I remember buying that in April 1976. Sheila Keith, World of Horror. That was a great magazine. Now, if you manage to get any copies on eBay, guys, fantastic. Yeah, World of Horror. Yeah, it's everything in here, guys. The horror figures and that, the horror commercials and that, it's just a fantastic book. It really is. You know, the famous Aura model kids, the Phantom of the Opera. I can never get the Frankenstein monster for some reason. Never get him. This certainly evokes the memories, guys. Going look, you know, looking through this book and that, you know, all the 70s horror magazines and that, like that I used to buy, like when I was a teenager. You know, there's one on Vincent Price, The Price of Fear. It tells you everything about them, guys. Even like when he'd done recordings, like horror recordings, you know, the narrated stories and that. Absolutely beautiful books, they really are. Absolutely packed. What I like about these books, not only to get a nice plethora of photos, but you get a nice text as well. Plenty of information, guys, about the movies, and that goes hand in hand with the you know, with the photographs, the text, and that. You know, fantastic. Yeah, bringing back the memories here, guys. I bought all these comics when I was used to come home from school. Like I'd be straight into the newsagents and get these off the racks. Highlight of me day. As I say, I can't show you every page, guys. We'll be here till the cows come home, but I'll just show you as much as I can. The old TV Times covers there. Susan Hampshire. Lovely lady. So you've even got horror playing cards, guys, from the 1970s, or tarot cards, whatever you want to call them. Lovely book. Horror Classics. This was one of my favourite magazines of the 1970s. I remember buying these. You get like a pull-out poster as well, and that, you know, of a horror movie. Great stuff. Monster Mag. That was another favourite of mine, Monster Mag. Yeah. All right then, guys. So that's the first book I'd like to show you, 70s Monster Memories. And as I say, if you're a monster kid growing up in the 1970s and that, you know, and you remember all these magazines and bubblegum cards and whatever, it's all here, guys. I don't think they haven't left any stone unturned in the research of 70s horror. So if you love 70s horror, get this book. It's fantastic. The second book I'd like to show you is equally fantastic, and this is called Chopped Meat, British horror of the 1970s. And there you go, guys. There's some iconic faces there. You've got Sheila Keith, and you've got the Frankenstein monster from Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. And rather naughty scene there, guys, at the bottom. Yeah, Chopped Meat. I'll just show you again, guys. I won't go through every page because we'll be here all afternoon, and most of the night as well. But a great book. That's a great one of my favourites, that and Soon the Darkness. Great one, that, where the two girls hitchhiking in France and that. That's a great one with Susie Kendall in Assault. I'd say I love the way they do, as I say, not only do they, you know, offer you a plethora of lovely photographs, I love the way the text as well, not just a few lines, like some horror books, you only get a few lines, but they've really gone into detail, guys, with these books. They really give you, if you're researching horror movies, guys, these are the first books you should pick up. You know, if you want a good knowledge of horror movies, and get these books, they're fantastic. They really are. Got a lot of movies in here I've never even heard of, you know. Goodbye Gemini. I haven't seen that one. Goodbye Gemini. But yeah, really, really made up with these. Lovely photographs in them, guys, as you can see. Yeah, so the websites we belong to. Oh, Taste the Blood of Dracula. Here it is, where he says the second, the first, the second, the third. Yeah, great movie, Taste the Blood of Dracula. The late great Christopher Lee, the best Dracula ever. There's even one at 10 Millington Place. That's a great one, that, guys. Richard Attenborough, he plays John Reginald Christie, the serial killer. And yeah, very, very fantastic movie. Yeah, very, very dark movie as well. 10 Millington Place. They're all here, guys. The Vampire Lovers, another classic from the 70s. They're all here. 1970s horror at its very best. Clockwork Orange is here as well. Deviation. I haven't seen that one, guys. Deviation. Thrice. That's a good one, guys. Thrice. Susan George playing a babysitter, and Dennis Waterman's in it as well. Love Susan George. Yeah. But oh God, the real, you know, I could sit here all afternoon spouting superlatives how much I love these books. There's my favourites. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie, I, Monster, starring Christopher Lee. Absolutely fantastic. I'd like to show you every page, guys, but as I say, it'll be here forever. That's a good one, guys. Death Dream. But yeah, really made up with these. Here's one of my favourite Christopher Lee movies, guys. Horror Express. Love that movie, Horror Express. Peter Cushing as well. Telly Savalas co-stars as well. Fantastic stuff. Neither the Sea nor the Sand. That's a good one with Susan Hampshire. Lovely Susan Hampshire. Recently got the special edition of that on the 88 label. There's one I haven't seen, guys. The Night Hair. Oh yeah, I have seen that one. Yeah, but it's under a different name. Britt Ekland, The Night Hair Child. That's quite a punch in your face ending, that one as well. Nothing But the Night. That's a good one with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Nothing But the Night. Really goes into detail, guys. As I say, beautiful books. Vampire Circus. It's all here, guys. All 70s horror. The Wicker Man. The greatest folk horror movie ever made. The Wicker Man. Christopher Lee was fantastic as Lord Summerisle. Yeah. Okay then, guys. I'm going to wind that part up now. As I say, I'd like to show you every page, but there's just that many. You know, there's such bulky books and that with an absolute mine of information in. You know, we'll be here all day. So that's the second one anyway. I'd like to show you. The Boys from Brazil's in here as well. That's the second one. So that is, again, from WeBelongDead.co.uk. And that is Chopped Meat, British horror of the 1970s. If you love horror, I'd highly recommend you get these bulky books. Packed, and I mean packed with it. Well, you've seen yourself, didn't you? You know, great balance between the photography and the article. So there you go. Okay then, guys, we're going to come to the jewel in the crown now of the three I've got today. And no prize is what I'm going to say. Again, from We Belong Dead. This is the very latest publication. And it is Christopher Lee, cinema's Prince of Darkness. Absolute legend, Christopher Lee. Nobody like him, especially playing Count Dracula. And there you are, guys. Some great posters there of the great man. All his movies and that. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get this beast open. Okay, so I'll spend a little bit longer on this one. As I say, this is the jewel in the crown of what I got today. Still from Dracula's Risen from the Grave, yeah? Fantastic, yeah? If you're a Christopher Lee fan, oh, I needn't say, need I? You've got to get this book, guys. You really have. I've got quite a few books on Christopher Lee, but this is definitely the best one. Without a shadow of a doubt. Before he got hammered. Great stills, as I say. They must have really combed the archives, guys, to get all these stills of the great man. They really must have. The horror movie Wales are very much poorer place without him and that, you know, because like as I say, a lot of the stuff that's getting made now, they're just not the same, you know. And of course Peter Cushing as well, you know. Oh, that's one of the best photos I've ever seen of him playing Count Dracula. Just look at that, guys. The best Dracula ever. Absolutely fantastic. The famous scene from Dracula Prince of Darkness where they shoot the ice around him and he falls down into the ice. Probably the most horrifying Christopher Lee Dracula movie. That one, you never said a word in that one. That made them all the more creepier. Some great anecdotes in here, guys, as well, including from somebody who met the great man. I think this book has got the more photos of Christopher Lee than I've ever seen in any book at all. Oh, that always freaked me out, that scene in Taste of Blood of Dracula where they bring him back to life and his eyes open and are all red. Oh, reminds me of Reagan in The Exorcist where her eyes went all white. Yeah. The only Dracula that ever scared me as a kid. No other Dracula. I thought Bela Lugosi was creepy, but Christopher Lee just absolutely nailed it, guys. You know, the many photos of Count Dracula. That's a great one, that Horror Express with his mate Peter Cushing. Yeah, as I say, guys, he did a great job. As I say, not just the photographs, but giving the the text and that. It's quite generous and that. So yeah, I always like to see that in a horror book. I don't like it when they put large photographs in and very, very minimal text. I like to see loads of chunky text and that. Telling you all about the actor and that. Sure, you guys feel the same. That's long overdue. That for a British Blu-ray release, The Creeping Flesh. Very, very long overdue. He played Fu Manchu good as well. Sax Rohmer's famous Oriental villain, the face of Fu Manchu, and he done two in Spain, I think it was as well. I've got the Fu Manchu box set from Indicator. Dr. Fu Manchu, the world shall hear from me again. I loved his baritone voice. That's a good one, guys. The Gorgon. Good Hammer movie. But yeah, really, if you're a Christopher Lee fan, you've just got to get this book, guys. You really have. Christopher Lee in the 60s, all the movies he made in the 1960s. What more could you ask for in a Christopher Lee book, guys? I couldn't ask for anything more. I really couldn't. As I say, I've got quite a few books on Christopher Lee. Good books as well on Christopher Lee. But this is right, the number one. Definitely number one. The best Christopher Lee book ever. Yeah, there's a great man. Great poster, great man there. Really fantastic, yeah. Really fantastic stuff. He often warned, when he asked him once about playing around the occult, he said, like, do not, under any circumstances, I've seen it in interviews, because not only will you lose not only will you lose other things, you will lose your mind as well. So stay well away from the occult. Wise words. There's one I haven't seen, guys. The Girl with the Golden Arm and The Devil's Daffodil. I love it when I stumble across movies where I haven't seen, especially when it stars a great actor like Christopher Lee, Everybody's talking about Eve. I'm not surprised. Ooh, missus. Ooh. The photo gallery from heaven, or should that be hell? Considering what the majority of his work was. Leas Hammaker say, I like the way they title the chapters, guys. Categorise them. That's a great one. That Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, where the hand comes out and that. Really made up with this book, guys. There's Dr. Terror, played by Peter Cushing, on the train and that. He has a horrible death in this one, by the way. Well, a horrible thing happens to him. I won't tell you what it is. Christopher Lee knocks everybody else out of the park in terms of playing Count Dracula. The Devil's Pact. Christopher Lee and Dennis Wheatley is very much into Dennis Wheatley. Christopher Lee, yeah. The Devil Rides Out. He played a goodie in that for once. The Rich Loaf, my memory serves me correctly. Love The Devil Rides Out. One of the greatest Hammer movies ever made. Anthony Bates, The Devil a Daughter as well, where he played a dodgy priest. That was good, but at the end there was a bit meh, a bit rushed in that. But Christopher Lee was always on the money, playing, as he always is, playing his character. Scary scene from The Devil Rides Out where they're all standing in a circle and the devil comes in on a horse, that big giant spider. Fantastic Hammer film. That's a great portrait of him as the Duke de Richelieu from The Devil Rides Out, guys. He could play any role as well. What he used to say as well, Christopher Lee, in interviews, he used to say, whenever I play, I apologise for the Christopher Lee impersonation. I've got to get the atmosphere over to the great man. He said, like, in one interview, I always try to bring something, a little difference to each role I play. It doesn't matter what role I'm playing, I always try to bring something, a little difference. Yeah, you see it on YouTube, guys. You can see when he says that and that, you know. But he loved it. I'll say, well, you probably know he made records as well, and that, you know, he made a heavy metal record, believe it or not, you know. But a great singing voice, as well as being a, you know, a highly skilled actor and a legend in cinema. Loved him in The Man with the Golden Gun as well, when he played Scaramanga. Oh, The Mummy, fantastic movie where he plays the Mummy, Christopher Lee. Tell I'm a Christopher Lee fan, can't you? Goddess has risen from the grave. I love the way they've included the movie posters with the actual stills from the movies, guys, as well. You know, really fantastic stuff, this. Rasputin, the Mad Monk, lover of the Russian Queen, as Boney M used to sing. Yeah. Rasputin, lots of hidden charms, and he fell into his arms. Going back to 1978 now, when that was in the charts. That's a good one, guys, when he plays a devil ship pirate. That's a good one, Christopher Lee. Yeah, so he could play any role, guys. Be it like a goodie, be a baddie, you know. Really fantastic actor, and very, very sadly missed, you know. Yeah. He made a lot of movies abroad as well, like The Whip and the Body, you know, movies like that, you know. The Bloody Judge, that's a good one, The Bloody Judge. If you haven't seen The Bloody Judge, that's a great one, that. Yeah, best book without a doubt on you know, the late great Christopher Lee I've ever had, you know. "20 years of delivering shocks and schlocks. Lee and Franco at your service." Oh yeah, he made that Dracula, directed by Jess Franco, didn't he, in 1970? It was okay, but I do prefer him in the Hammer Dracula movies. Very, very charming man as well. Very charming man, as well as being an icon of horror. Very, very tall as well. You know, that helped. You know, playing his stature, playing Count Dracula, being tall and menacing, and that, you know, and that badass. There's the guys. There's the Jess Franco still Count Dracula 1970. I've got that on 4K. Lee always wanted to play the Count exactly as Bram Stoker's novel depicted him. Never quite did it in that, but that was close, that one, I must admit. Yeah. Count Dracula 1970, guys. Oh, The Whip and the Body. Released a special edition of that. Otherwise known as The Whip and the Flesh. Ooh. The Hollywood years now, guys. When he went to Hollywood, he made movies like The Three Musketeers and that. He was even on Saturday Night Live as well. Yeah, he made an appearance on that. Saturday Night Live, guys. Yeah. Fantastic. One of the greatest British actors ever to grace the silver screen. The late, great Christopher Lee. And he could, as I say, could play any part as well, you know, officers even in the war and that, you know, supernatural villains and that. He could play any part and he could just like fitted him like a glove no matter what part he played, guys, you know. Great, you know. As I say, very, very debonair actor as well. The Casebook of Christopher Lee and the Great Detective. That's when he was in the Sherlock Holmes movies, guys. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes. There he is with Patrick Macnee, another fine actor. Most remembered, of course, playing John Steed in The Avengers. He plays Dr. Watson here. Appears in it, joint protagonist with Christopher Lee. The Hound of the Baskervilles. That's a fantastic one, that, guys. Peter Cushing playing Sherlock Holmes. Sinking up for the shoot, threading the commonality needle between actor and director. Fantastic. As I say, guys, this company called We Belong Dead did a fantastic job. Oh, it's all the icons of horror together here. John Carradine, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price and Peter Cushing. The House of the Long Shadows. That's a great one. I know the ending is quite controversial, but, you know, some people like the ending, some people loathe the ending. All a matter of opinion, isn't it? I always say. The House of the Long Shadows, yeah. Learning Curves and Name Exposures. The Small Screen Travels of Christopher Lee. Oh, that was when he made guest appearances in, like, The Avengers and that, you know. Yeah, he guest roles. He was in Alfred Hitchcock Hour as well. He played a horror actor, believe in Alfred Hitchcock's, you know, hour long shows. There he is from The Avengers. Patrick Macnee, Incarcerated. Christopher Lee and James Bond, or he played Scaramanga. Yeah. He's great in that as well, playing Scaramanga, the man with the golden gun. Love that one. Lulu singing, he has a powerful weapon. Oh, you naughty boy. No, I mean a gun. I'm sure that's what Lulu meant. Some people's minds, filthy. It is on the beach, you know, luxuriating in the sun with a nice lady. The late great Christopher Lee. The horror movie whale is, you know, he's so conspicuous by his absence, isn't he, in you know, today's horror movies, guys. Franco and the Movies from Hell. Christopher Lee's 70s horrors with Jess Franco. That's a good photo of him there. I love that one. Love that photo of him looking very manic. Lord Summerisle with his famous wig. Here's with his pipe. Such a fantastic catalogue, a very illustrious career Christopher Lee has, guys. You know, I'm sure you'll all agree, guys. Christopher Lee and Charlemagne Productions. Dr. Van Tralen might as well jump. There's a Diana Dawes, Nothing But the Night. That's a good one, guys. Nothing But the Night. Science Spaceman and Supervillain. The science fiction films of Christopher Lee. So if you're a science fiction fan, guys, you might be particularly interested in that chapter. I'm not really a science fiction fan. I only like the odd science fiction movie like Alien, Invasion of the Body Smashers. I'm not a great sci-fi fan. I used to watch Star Trek, guys, in the 60s and that and the 70s, but I'm not never seen the Star Trek movies right through. Not really into sci-fi. There he is in Gremlins 2, guys. Oh, one of my favourite folk horror movie of all time, The Wicker Man. Christopher Lee, Lord Summerisle. That ending, oh boy, that ending. Fantastic movie. You wouldn't think it was a horror the way it starts off, you know, nice gentle sort of like folk music and that, you know, and the villages and that on the hand and that, and then, oh, it soon goes down a very dark path. And you'll know what I mean if you've seen The Wicker Man. Oh, talk about a heat wave. Britt Eklund there, guys. The Wicker Man. By the way, that nude part, that wasn't it. That wasn't her naked. It was a body double. A lot of people didn't know that. Yeah. So yeah, love The Wicker Man. Masterpiece of cinema, The Wicker Man. And I think this was Christopher Lee's favourite movie, The Wicker Man. Yeah, he had a great, you know, fondness for it. Very, very troubled production as well. I've got a big book about The Wicker Man, guys. Yeah, Edward Woodward as well. He was fantastic in it. As Sergeant Howie. Another great actor. Edward Woodward. Played Callan. Lee's Tenser Moments. 3 movies for Tygon. Oh yeah, the 3 movies he did for Tygon. That would be The Creeping Flesh would be one of them, I think. And the one where The Curse of the Crimson Altar. That's a good one with Boris Karloff. Yeah, The Curse of the Crimson Altar. Horror Express, one of my favourite Christopher Lee movies, guys. Horror Express. And the monster's not what you think it's going to be. That's what I like about it. And you even get a cameo by Telly Savalas. He comes on, I think it's about halfway through the movie, guys. Horror Express. If you haven't seen Horror Express, get yourself a copy. It's a fantastic movie. Peter Cushing's in it as well. I guarantee, guys, when Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee were in a movie, you're in for a good time. You know, I Monster. Fantastic Jekyll and Hyde movie, guys. Although they changed the names to Marlowe and Blake. I don't know why they did that. Might be a copyright thing or something. But it was Jekyll and Hyde, you know, in essence. Very terrifying Hyde as well. I like it when their faces go horrible. I don't like it when they just change subtly. I like when they really go hideous. And who better to play a monster than Christopher Lee? You know, he knew how to play a monster, didn't he? Yeah. I love that scene where he's walking in the park and he thinks he's got rid of the hide. The hide's sort of like affecting that. And he looks at his hand and his hands are changing into hides like that. And the expression on his face is one of sheer horror. So you haven't seen I Monster, check it out if you like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movies. Christopher Lee, The Werewolf Bitch. Oh, this will be The Howling, guys. Yeah. The Howling, yeah. Christopher Lee, yeah. Yeah. It was okay. Okay, but I do prefer the first Howling, though. Yeah, so really made up with this, guys. Really am. Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. Dracula. Oh, that's Bela Lugosi's voice. Christopher Lee would be more apt to say, I am Dracula. Welcome to my house. Fantastic voice. You notice how all those horror actors had great voices, guys? Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Peter Lorre. They all had great voices, didn't they? You don't get that now, do you? In the horror movie world, the acting world, nobody really stands out. That's my opinion, anyway. Christopher Lee, yeah, Saruman, yeah, didn't really go much on them, I must admit. Not really for me, them. Lord of the Rings. Did try to get into the novels once. I gave up after a couple of chapters. And he even made records, guys. I remember that one getting advertised a lot. Where he narrates horror stories and that, you know. He's even done one of The Exorcist, where he narrates The Exorcist, James Herbert's Fog and that, you know, in his voice. I know he's done a lot of M.R. James stories as well. Here's the lacy ears now, guys. Here's his wife there, Gissy. That's his wife. Make a happy couple, don't they? Gitty. Yeah, the later years. He had a good life, didn't he? Yeah, all those fantastic movies he made. And there he is signing copies of his book in a bookstore. Fantastic. Yeah. That's a great portrait of him as well. The Life and Deaths of Christopher Lee. I've got that documentary, guys. It's quite good. The only thing is they get like a puppet and somebody taking his voice off. I wasn't sure whether I liked that or not. But it was a good documentary, but I'm not sure about the puppets, you know. Hey, oh, the day I met Dracula, a fan's account of when he met Christopher Lee. Oh, I'm going to be reading that. I'm definitely going to be reading that. The day I met Christopher Lee. And there you go, guys. Here's a gallery of book and magazine covers what Christopher Lee featured on. The Dark Side, the best horror magazine on the market, The Dark Side. Alan Bryce does a fantastic job editing this. Always look forward to coming out at the end of every month. Yeah, Famous Monsters of Filmland, Boris J. Ackerman. Used to collect a few of those and that. Always excited when he had one of the newsagents. The Monster Mag, that was another favourite of mine. You'd get like a poster of 2 horror movies and you get like a very minimal text actually. It was all about the coloured photographs and the posters. You're a very photogenic actor, Christopher Lee. No wonder he featured his countenance on a lot of magazine covers. This is autobiography. Great read. I've got the American one here. It's got all photos and what you've never seen before. And here are, guys. Here's, now, I was saying before about We Belong Dead, the publishers. You've got the publisher magazine as well. And here's all the books as well, guys. I've got most of the... I've got to get that one of Vincent Price and Peter Cushing. We Belong Dead. As I say, I'll leave the link in the video, guys, down below. And if you fancy picking these books up, I'd highly recommend them because they're just absolute titanic books of absolute mine of horror information. They really are. I've got most of them. There's just a couple more for me collection. I've got the lot then. That's a great one, that one. Vampire movies. And lovely. You get the same quality in every book, guys. You know, thick and that, you know. And there's the magazine, We Belong Dead. Yeah, I can't recommend these highly enough, guys. I mean, when I first got my first one, I thought to myself, I've got to get them. You know, I really have. They're just fantastic. We Belong Dead, yeah. Okay then, guys, that winds the video up. I hope you enjoyed it. So Christopher Lee, Cinema's Prince of Darkness, a We Belong Dead presentation, edited by Eric McNaughton and Daryl Buxton. The best Christopher Lee book I have ever had. As I say, I've got many Christopher Lee books, but this has gone right to #1, guys. So if you're a Christopher Lee fan, get yourself a copy of this book. You know, if you really like if you like reading about horror icons as much as you like watching the movies, get this book. It's fantastic. And of course, the other two, Chop Meat, all about British horror movies of the 1970s. A great read, guys. Absolute mine of information. Lovely photographs and great text. Comprehensive text. And finally, 70s Monster Memories. If you like me, you like reminiscing about buying the horror bubblegum cards and getting the Aura plastic kits and buying all those fantastic Monster Mag. They seem to be so prevalent in the 1970s. These great monster magazines and that, you know, and just everything about 1970s horror, guys. What you could possibly wish for is in these lovely volumes and that, you know, the beautiful, beautiful books. They really are. All right then, guys, that's enough. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I say, you know, We Belong Dead, greatest publishers of horror books I have ever came across and that, you know. So, yeah, really well worth the money as well, yeah. Okay then, guys, so are you a Christopher Lee fan? What's your favourite Christopher Lee movie? Do you think he's the best Dracula? Let's get a good discussion going about Christopher Lee. I might even do a live stream again. And I know I did one a while ago about Christopher Bale. I wouldn't mind doing another one as well because I love him so much. He's right up there, my all-time favourite actors and that. Yes, I might do one. And so not yet. I'm not doing any lives for a while yet. But I want to do get back on the live circus again. I might do one of Christopher Lee. All right, then, guys, that's enough waffle from me. Enjoy your weekend. Have a nice weekend, and all going well. Hope to be back soon with a review of The Bad Seed from 1956. But I can't tell you how much I made up with those books. All right, then, guys, have a nice weekend. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
If you enjoyed watching this video, guys, you might like to check out my website at www.alantoner.com. You'll be able to find out a little bit more about my work as a writer and all the books I have published to date. Thanks for watching.